the Bayou Classic. It's like a bowl game. 70,000 watching it.
Ready to go on fourth down. Knight will keep it, puts it under his arm, left side, first down, touchdown. You're talking about Florida A&M.
Back in the day, it wasn't nothing more important than being at the game.
You know, this was a big social gathering. It was almost like a homecoming kind of every week.
And it was something that everybody was at. You know, if you was anybody in anything, then your organization was represented because, you know, most of the people was there.
Right side, they just get the play off. It is all over. They're going wild here on the southern side. Grambling has been stunned. They died hard. They died hard. The ball game is over.
Damage is done.
There's no doubt that historically black colleges and universities have a rich and deep history when it comes to sports. But with attendance woes and a decreasing number of standout athletes, is it just that? History?
Well, I started school in 1972 at Morris Brown, and the athletics event was the key thing. I mean, you know, every student on campus had to be at the game. You know, that was just the place to be, thing to do.
People would come to games, you know, almost like in Sunday clothing, furs, heels, that kind of thing, because it was really a gathering socially. You know, a lot of people saw each other. I mean, especially with home games, there are a lot of other activities that were scheduled around that just to take advantage of the fact that you had so many people, you know, on campus, the students. I mean, it was a gathering place for them too.
Even in the mid-90s, if you weren't there an hour, 2 hours before the game to get in line and position yourself to get in that door once, you know, they started letting people in, you didn't get in the game because the fire marshal stopped them from letting people in. Became a fire hazard.
One reason HBCUs had bigger turnouts at sporting events could possibly be linked to the quality of athlete they once had, as black students could only attend black schools.
That's why, you know, I think our programs, as far as athletes, obviously they were stronger because we had the very best of the best playing for us.
Even in 1991, players like Alcorn State Steve McNair, who played 13 years in the NFL, were rare to see at HBCUs. Could one of the most positive changes in American history negatively shape the future of HBCU sports?
Well, before integration, for the most part, you know, there were restrictions. There were places you couldn't go. You couldn't stay in hotels, couldn't go to certain restaurants. So there was a separation. There was a, you know, I don't know if you call it separate but equal, but there was certainly the two separate societies. And when it came to African Americans or blacks, I think the being that we were kind of excluded or restricted, I think it really forced us to come together. I think we were more together as a group, ethnic group then, because we had sort of a common bond. We wanted to be in a country that was more fair.
I was born by the river.
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal. It ought to be possible, therefore, for American students of any color to attend any public institution they select.
In 1954, segregation was ruled unconstitutional, but those laws were largely ignored. In 1964, only 2 southern states, Texas and Tennessee, had over 2% of their black population in integrated schools. In 1966, Texas Western's men's basketball team featured the first all-black starting 5 in Division I. That team went on to beat the all-white powerhouse University of Kentucky in the national championship game. 3 years later, Kentucky decided to integrate.
A long time coming.
I mean, from the standpoint of this country doing the right thing, yeah, it was right to integrate. It was slow for white schools to jump on the bandwagon until they realized that it was more advantageous monetarily for them to have black athletes on their team.
Willie wasn't the only one with that belief. According to Alvin Hollins, FAMU's legendary football coach Jake Gaither foresaw some of the problems integration could cause HBCUs.
For us, we thought it would be good for us as well in terms of just having a chance to have more opportunities. Now, ironically, Coach Gaither was not a person who shared that view that it was going to be in our best interest to integrate. I don't think he really felt that it was going to benefit us long term, because we would lose the togetherness and the sense of community that we built. We were forced to, hey, look, we got to rely on each other. We can't trust the outside folks. We don't know how much we can trust them, And I think he was, as being an older guy at that point, he was fearful that it might not be what we thought. Younger folks were hoping for the opportunities and the protests and that type of thing. But I think he felt like in the end it might actually destroy a lot of what we had. And he might be right.
Whether you agree or disagree with Coach Gaither, one thing's for sure. It's much more challenging for HBCUs to attract the nation's top players. Players like four-star recruit D'Anthony McGriff.
I just felt like I was better than the HBCU, So, when I got chances to play at a Division I school, I got to jump on it.
In addition to being a four-star recruit, McGriff was an Under Armour All-American and was featured in the 2015 ESPN 300 list, which rates the nation's top 300 high school football players. Needless to say, none of them signed with an HBCU.
Most guys believe in all the hype and stuff. If they don't want to go to no black college, they don't barely get TV time for that. Most people want fame, they want to be seen and all that.
The large white schools, in order to have those great programs, they had to have the best athletes. And most of the best athletes were black players. So they rated all the black schools. And now, since they have the money, the scholarship, the facilities, naturally the better black players are going to go to those schools.
If I get 5 offers, I get an offer from Florida State, Miami, Florida, Ohio State, or Alabama. Why would I want to consider FAMU or Tennessee State or Redzone or something like that?
Just that I don't think we really saw the day where we would actually have to fight for black talent. We have to, recruit that. So as a result, we just got caught flat-footed.
We all know that the best black players now are at major white schools. That's understandable. I don't have no problem with that. The only thing that I, is kind of upset about is that, we still can't just throw away black athletics altogether. You still got to support it.
Obviously, HBCUs aren't getting the same caliber of player they once had. Could that be the reason why sporting events resemble ghost towns?
This empty arena here, maybe not even halfway filled, never would have happened in the mid-90s on back, never. Before 2000, it wouldn't have happened. Would not have happened. This place would have been cool.
Hit the strip club, we be letting fans go. Everybody hate who we just call them fans though. In love with the money, I ain't never let go. And like it hard with my baby. I just left the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby. Yeah. And like it hard with my baby. I be in the kitchen cooking pies with my baby. Yeah.
HBCUs are seemingly better known for its social aspects versus its sports. Apparently, an overwhelming number of students just don't care about their sports teams these days.
I think that we feel like how can I put it, that it's not worth our time to go even watch it because like we don't think that our teams are even good enough to compete with the rest of the people out there, so we don't even give them the time to go to support.
Nobody's really concerned about the basketball team. Like, I'm a huge UK fan, so like I expected to come to school and be like repping FAMU like crazy and expecting the games to be packed, and we had this nice gym with nobody really there.
You don't know any players or anything. You're out of touch with sports as an HBCU versus the PWIs and stuff, you feel me? Like, we don't see them on TV like that.
One of the most notable sporting events for HBCUs is known as Classics. One of the most notable Classics takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana, between Grambling State and Southern universities. Of course, I'm talking about the Bayou Classic, an event that debuted in 1974 with over 77,000 fans in attendance. The event recently dropped to an all-time low in 2011, barely attracting 40,000 fans.
Like we were talking about earlier, it's like if you come to Set Friday, you're going to see 3 times as many people on Set Friday just listen to music vibing out versus being at the games.
The basketball game would be having like 30 people, including the basketball team. So, I don't know.
It sucks, but that's how it is, especially here.
Yeah, and I feel like if you take that same energy that we have on Set Friday and put it in the basketball games, our basketball players would be hyped. They would want to win more, they'll put more effort into it, and the crowd would be hyped. So I just feel like we need more support from our students and faculties to do better.
It's tough to say if the lack of fan support affects the play of the athletes, but it definitely affects the pockets of these HBCUs. And since students already pay athletic fees, their lack of support actually has little to do with the problem. It's the lack of support from the surrounding communities that hurts HBCUs the most, considering that they accounted for over 70% of tickets sold for the 2011 Bayou Classic.
We're going to see the best players play, so now you don't go and support the black colleges and stuff. You go to these games, yeah, you're seeing the best players, but unfortunately you're killing the people who has endured for years and years and years.
In 2013, only 8 of the 21 teams in the 2 lone Division I HBCU conferences had an operating budget over $10 million. That's nearly half of fellow FCS counterpart Appalachian State's budget, and roughly 900% less than the budget for the University of Texas, which was $165 million.
I don't have any problem watching Alabama play. I don't have any problem watching Ohio State play. I don't have any problem watching Georgia play. But if I'm going to spend my money to go to a game, then it's going to be at a black school. It's that simple.
Unfortunately for HBCUs, everyone doesn't see it that way. So if the students and surrounding communities are supporting athletics, would it be better financially for these colleges to eliminate sports altogether? As the president of Spelman College, Beverly Tatum implemented a fitness wellness program following the 2013 season.
When we made the decision to leave intercollegiate athletics and focus on wellness, we did that in the context of a community that was not that highly invested in our sports as a social activity.
Let's not forget, Spelman is a Division III all-girls school, and President Tatum doesn't believe her decision fits all HBCUs, but she encourages every institution to look at the numbers.
If you are a school where the football games are a major draw for your alumni, it's a major student activity, it might be harder to walk away from that because it's so much a part of the campus culture. Whether you choose to do that or not, we all are in a place where we have to think very creatively and strategically about the use of our resources. So, a lot of schools spend a lot of money on sports. Those dollars might be better spent on something else.
With no clear-cut answer, Willie warns of the potential risks in the future of HBCU sports.
To be real about it, all of us is in the same boat. We can become extinct. If you want to keep seeing black colleges and universities, then you're going to have to support.